So it doesn't make any sense why you're doing that at all. But alright, there we go. That should be fine. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't even need to do that. Actually, I'm gonna just be working on that other thing. I shouldn't need to do all that. Let's get all this. That can be fine, so now I can see everything. Welcome in when everyone gets in. I'm going to be multitasking per usual. Do I not get to edit the size of that? With it being, are you serious? It has to be full screen for me to do that? That's so silly. Let me pop it in full screen, out of full screen this entire time. That's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, welcome in when y'all get in. Unless y'all just want to just talk, you know, not really talk or interact, that's cool too, but I see that there's people in here. Welcome in, welcome in. I am doing well. I'm just working, multitasking as usual. I'm working on the tarot classes right now and some presentations. Read the titles for it says it all in the title while I'm doing it. Welcome in. How we doing? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How's everything? It's good. I spent all day yesterday sleeping, which was good. I literally had not slept in like 4 days straight. Maybe like an hour or two total. So I spent all day yesterday sleeping. It was a good day. Yeah, I feel that. I catch your drift. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. No, I don't do any of that. I don't need it. So I don't do any of it. None of it's in my league. It's legal here, but you have to have a card. It's just not my thing. I don't need to partake in any of it. Yeah, I mean, some people, it all just really depends on who you are. Personally, I don't, with the life that I live, I don't really do that. But it does have a lot of helps with that for some people. I just stay away from it. Yeah, I don't, I can't drink anymore. I can't do that at all. Like, I never liked drinking, but I did casually, and not anymore. I can't. It is not. It is not a thing for me anymore. I'll drink honey. That's about it. I don't have any water. I'm all out of everything. Oh well, that sucks. I noticed that my throat was a little scratchy, but that's all right. We'll move through it. I get that. That's cool. At least you're the one driving. That's always a I don't know what I'm trying to say here because my brain's not even focused really well right now. But it's important to always have like a driver for that. Oh, dude, I used to go for tequila all the time, and then I could not. Like it went from vodka to tequila. Oh my god, I can't even. I didn't even talking about it. So that's whatever. But I can't drink no more. They're out of my league. If you're all wondering what I'm doing, I'm working on the tarot classes right now, um, and I just decided to go live because why not? It's just how it is. Because I'm almost to the point to where I can start working on the symbolisms, and I want to take a little bit of a break before I do that. So I'm trying to like not rush everything out, but get everything out in a stable form. Plan for today? Don't have a plan for today. I just let things come to me as I need to. And I really don't plan out anything. I just do whatever intuitively pops up in my mind. I try and just keep it non-rational. If I sometimes if I have plans, like rarely, Whenever I do, though, I don't hold tightly to them because they will fall out really quickly. Some, you know, it's just not that they will, but they can, and I just keep that balance in that. I try not to focus too much on one side or the other. But I've done everything that you've mentioned so far. I've been awake for like 4 hours. And I've already done everything that you said, so I guess if that was my plan, my plan's already done. I'm just spending the rest of the day doing stuff. Well, I literally got up and I was like, you know what? I was like, I worked a little bit on music, tried to get an idea solidified. I read a little bit more of some books, just do some research. You know, I try to get a lot done. I do. See, that's the thing, though. I'm a workaholic, and I'm really used to overworking, and that's something I'm working on breaking. So it doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot, but I'm doing a lot. Um, any gigs coming up? Nope, not that I know of. Literally, how it goes, no one hires me for anything. No one wants me to DJ except for one group of people, and we only DJ like once bi-monthly. Um, I so I just keep busy. Like no one like I try to put myself out there. People like are interested. Well, not real kinda. I had like 3 fake gigs where they were like hitting me up saying, "Oh, we'll tell you about the gig," and nothing happened. And it's just I don't know. I just give up. I don't really give up, but I don't really talk to those people anymore. So most of it's just kind of like talks in the winds. And again, also, not a lot of people want to work with me. I'm not. It's not that I'm a hard person to work with, but I have a distinct way of doing things, and a lot of people just don't like that. So, uh, unfortunately for them, that's just kind of how it goes. Welcome in, welcome in. What was I talking about? I just talked about the inverted. Okay, so. Why do I keep capitalizing the A on accident? I gotta work on that. Oh my lord, what is going on? Why is it that whenever I stream, everyone wants my attention? This is like I could be doing I could be writing things I could be writing a book. I could be, you know, doing a reading for someone. I could be doing anything else. But whenever I go live, everyone like starts messaging me, and I find that so funny. Well. Well, that's good. Okay, well, never mind. This is a good thing. This is actually not even a distracting message. This was a really good one because hell yeah, it's working. Awesome. I did. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I was doing some work, some petition work, some spiritual court work for someone, and And I had permission to do it. I didn't tell them what I fully did. They didn't really ask. They were just kind of curious about other things. And I just got a message from them kind of confirming that things that I did are working for them in a way, so I'm happy. I haven't done anything like I did for them. I mean, I have separately, but not put together, so I'm glad that the combination of things that I did worked. Of course, I did like divination and stuff for it too, but I'm just glad that that stuff is working out now. Which is probably why I was reminded to do the Mother Mary prayer and about the book of Honorois and stuff. I might be going back on that path here soon. But you know, those services are open for people if you are interested. Like it's just prayer work and or spiritual contracts or whatever. And you can just like email me about them or like use the order form. They won't be on the site because unfortunately I don't have stuff to do. I don't have the money to get a paid site, so I can only have 5 services. Yeah, see, whenever we were talking about the Mother Mary prayer a few days ago, I was like, we need to do that. It's actually longer than that. I only uploaded verses 7 through 11. I didn't do the whole thing. The whole thing is literally like, here, hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19 pages. The whole thing is 19 pages. I only did the Mother Mary part. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of angel names. There's a lot of Latin that you have to speak. I can't speak Latin. I would like to learn. So instead of doing that incorrectly, I just decided not to do it and do the Mother Mary version instead. But yeah, it was. I've been wanting to do that for a while actually, but I was caught up on the idea that I had to do all of it. Miss Jelly, I don't know where they've been. People just don't be getting notifications. That's the main thing. I was thinking about messaging YouTube support again, but I don't want to waste my time and be like, hey, so notifications aren't coming through. And I know if I do that, they're gonna say, well, here's this video, and if it's that video, I'll just delete it at this point, because golly, dude, that video is causing every issue. Shit, I might as well just get rid of it. But no, they need to fix their stuff. And as well, like, check if the notifications are for all. Most people have them for all instead of personal, but they gotta fix that. They got to fix that. Because I actually get a lot of people like saying, I don't get notifications. They come like hours later, not at all. And I'm like, I can't fix that. Like, I'm glad that I'm being told, but I really can't do anything about it. I'm not in control of the notifications, unfortunately. I wish I was. Every time you step? What do you mean by that? Yeah, that might be like incomplete sentence. I'm not really sure. Oh, word. Yeah, that was incomplete sentence. My bad. I'm jumping. I'm jumping. Yeah, that does happen. A lot of times when you step into your power. Now remember this. Here's an interesting way of looking at this. When you are leveling up and you start to feel like people are trying to disempower you around you, look at how you're perceiving that from your own vision. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll end up projecting our insecurities on other people so that we end up seeing our insecurities from them and their actions. You know what I mean? So let's say you're wearing a shirt that you're not really confident in wearing, and oh no, Anna, you don't have to worry about doing that. That's good. I don't care about that stuff anymore. Even if you check the channel, the pronouns are just he, him on there, so you don't have to worry about doing that. I had another mod message me about that, and I was like, I don't really, like, that doesn't even need to matter anymore. That was just more of everyone was calling me that anyway at the time, so I was just kind of zooming in with it. So no need to worry about all that. But if you're wearing a shirt that you're not really confident in wearing, and you end up going in public, you'll look at all sorts of people in different ways, and they'll be like, oh, this person's looking at me a little with a stink eye or something. They must not like my shirt, or all these things of that nature. So be careful of you not projecting your own sort of insecurities or your own sort of past versions of yourself on other people to counteract what you're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna help you try and transmute this, because even though these things, you know, they can affect you in different ways, we can always do things on our part to transmute them. So when they scream and yell at you, what in particular are they screaming and yelling at you? Because once you get into a certain state of mind where you see everything coming from you, you start to see it in a form of, like, if they're screaming at me, then there's a part of me that's screaming at me to do something, and they might just be screaming the polar opposite version of what I'm trying to achieve. You know what I mean? So let's work on that, on like transmutation for that, because a lot of overcoming spiritual warfare, a lot of overcoming people throwing things at you, whether it's magic or whatever, involves transmutation. Being an alchemist in that sense of being able to change the state, the form of things, and changing the form of something as solid as an external existence into something more of a gaseous, which would be your conscious state, really changes how things move around you, even if they come at you in like that solid form. You know what I mean? Like, you are this I don't want to call it incubation, but you're like, you are the chemical reaction that causes things to remain in a certain state. So if you can remain in not necessarily like a liquid state, but a gaseous state, in that state of consciousness, to turn things into a liquid to move through instead of keeping it in a solid state, that's really what we're working for. Okay, that could just be a sign that that person's not really for you anymore in that sense. Like, they might be trying to yell at you in that sense and get on your nerves in that sense and disempower you to show you, I'm gonna use this term the way it's coming to me, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. But they might be showing how they're a crutch to you and how they're almost holding you back by their own sort of way. Like, you know, you'll be around someone for a while and you'll know their actions, you'll know how they move, you'll know how they live their life, and you'll know their opinions, and you know, all these things. And the longer you stay around people, you'll pick up on that, and you'll end up subconsciously already knowing what that person's kind of holding you back from, or what that person's doing to kind of get sort of reactions out of you. And it's up to you at that point to really determine if it's worth enough for you to stay or to leave, when it comes to these things. But if they are yelling at you in that sense of just trying not to believe their lies and stuff, it's definitely saying to you that you are solidified in what you're wanting. It wouldn't necessarily be that he. Remember, we're not messing with flesh. You need to dislocate that from the flesh. If you're still worried about him, then there's an issue that you have inside of you that isn't resolved with that individual on a physical level. We don't worry about flesh. This is a battle between spirits. That has nothing to do with the flesh. That spirit of people who get mad at you for not believing their lies is just telling you that a past version of you was very, very comfortable being around those people, and you allowed yourself to be lied to without standing a ground, without standing a form of backbone against them. So instead of thinking that it's just these people doing things to you, which will form a reality making you think that someone's out to get you, it's really this form of, these people around me are attached to a past version of me that was acceptable of their actions. And now that I'm no longer accepting those types of actions, I can now fully be aware and fully be conscious of what they were doing and how it was actually going against who I wanted and needed to be for myself. So it's not that that person's possessing anyone. This world is ran by spirits, not by flesh. So really understand that and move with that note of, a lot of people are stuck in the blaming the flesh of things, which is part of scapegoating. And that keeps you stuck in different cycles. That's the thing that you're trying to break out of. That's not necessarily even a spiritual thing. That's what everyone does in reality. That's a very 3D based mindset to have. If you're trying to transcend those things, make it more spiritual, make it more defining with spirit, because all spiritual means is working with the realm of spirit, things that are involving spirit, which is everything, being more involved in that sense. And welcome in, Daniel. But it can feel like that individual doing those things simply because you're familiar with whatever they're doing from that person. Well, I mean, it's not really seeing past the veil if you're blaming it on an individual. You're being blinded by the veil at that point. Because again, it's not an individual, it is a spirit. It's not the flesh that's doing it. Like, you can bump into someone that reminds you of your old friend, but that doesn't mean your old friend is possessing them. That just means they carry the same spirit. They carry a familiar spirit to that friend, and that just reminds you of it. You know what I mean? Like, we have to stop blaming the actual people for it, because it's not their fault. In retrospect, when you blame someone, that makes you blamable. That now makes you the problem in it. That's why people will come at you in a certain way, because you're so stuck on blaming the flesh on them. That's just going to come back to you, because that's what you're putting out. And that's just saying, well, if you're going to do that, we'll supply you with the same thing that you're doing, hopefully so you can see it and not be stuck in that cycle. The divine can't really pull you out of that cycle unless you take the steps to further see past it, you know? What we think is, when we think that we're seeing past the veil, isn't necessarily a veil. We have multiple veils to look through, and the first one is the rational mind. Once you stop seeing things in a rational point of view, stop seeing things as it's coming from one and not the whole spectrum of things, then you'll have another veil to look from, which is, where am I standing at? Am I standing on the outside or on the inside of the situation? Am I allowing things on the outside to control the inside of the situation, or am I allowing my inside to expand the outside? That's what we're looking at when we're dealing with these things. Any tips for debilitating anxiety? Breath work, breathing. I mean, but you're saying it's him and he's possessing. Souls don't have a gender. Souls just are. By you saying it's him, is you're defining it with a fleshly attribute. So you are. It's just you're not seeing it. And this again is like a rational self-minded, where you think you're in one realm, but you're letting the realm that you're trying to escape define those things for you. And that's with the words that you're using. That's the energy that you're outputting with it. And again, it's not a soul. The soul doesn't leave the body. The soul stays within the one vessel. We are living souls. We have a spirit inside of us that we cast when we do actions. And that's what you're worried about. It's not the soul. The soul is pure. If you're wanting to blame the soul, that means that there's something impure inside you that you're not seeing fully and clearly through. But for the anxiety, breathing exercises work. Exercise, taking walks, sun gazing, candle gazing, star gazing, things of that nature. Being able to do things where the mind is more focused on other things moving rather than what's causing you stress. You know, it's more of you breaking free of your own shell. It's not even that it's other people. Other people will be doing what they need, or that what they're doing. It's the energetic alignment. It's like when you think of the flesh as just a conductor. Think of the flesh as just a conductor. When you input energy, which would just be electricity, right? You would put that into your conductor, and then you're charged with that. If you have a higher voltage, then if you're trying to charge something or plug something into a wall that has a higher voltage than that plug can handle, it's going to short wire, it's going to explode, the breaker's going to flip, all sorts of shit's going to happen, right? Maybe a fire might even break out, all these things. And that's what's going on whenever you are getting higher vibrations, is you're matching with people who have these breakers, these switches that can't reach that type of vibration, that can't reach that sort of energetic standpoint, and you'll flip them. And it's not that you're doing it on purpose, it's just that they can't get or understand where you're at, where you're coming from. And some people will be overstanding, and that's like when people will have, like, I forgot what it's called, like the safety breaker. Like they'll have a switch that, like, you know what I mean, how the breaker has that switch that will turn off usually before it like goes crazy. Some people have that working, some people don't. The ones that don't have that safety switch are the ones that are going to get mad and explode, and those are the ones that you're not wanting to be around and need to leave away from. The ones that have that safety switch will be able to click off and click and turn back on whatever they need to. Maybe they'll take a break or leave or something. But it's not necessarily that these attachments are following you and doing these things. It's just that you were at this point where you were charging people and being around people and plugging in and connecting with people who were at that state that you were allowing in your energy in that sense, and you were allowing yourself to involve yourself with. So it's just showing you that you need to remove yourself from these individuals, because they were the ones keeping you in this sort of loophole. These are the ones that are keeping you in this sort of I don't feel this way, but they're going to keep saying things about me in that way. Like, if they're calling you delusional, but you know that you're not, then you need to remove yourself from those people so that you're not having to battle that, because that's just adding extra on your plate that you're not needing to deal with, and that keeps you from doing what you actually need to do within life. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Rage can be taken out in a multitude of ways. You would prefer it not to be taken out in one way, but other people have their own ways of being. And this is again where you're needing to decide, like, am I wanting to be around people who are not as in control of their feelings, or am I willing to sacrifice my own comfort for them? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that you have to decide at the end of the day. It's not about trying to control other people. It's not about trying to figure out who's possessing who and what. It's about what you are going to do, and if you're going to allow yourself to become a possession of whatever's going on around you. Because again, everything is neutral. No one does anything in this world that is bad. They do it because they find it to be a reasonable solution or a reasonable action. They don't really do it because it's something bad and evil. They may consciously know that it's a bad and evil thing, but subconsciously there's a program that's allowing them to do it for a benefit for themselves. Whether that's some form of pleasure that they obtain from it, or some form of safety boundary that they need to sit behind, regardless, that's them and their issue. That's not one to be judged externally, though we do externally judge with that anyway, which causes a big heap of issues. I'm just locked in today. Today's one of those days. Today's just one of those days. I was asleep all day yesterday, so my brain's actually working today, you know. Not to say that it has been working the other days, but I'm able to like convey things a little bit better. So we're on one today. I literally just have not slept in like 4 days, so I've just been all over the place. I'm a little bit more stable as I can be. But we're good. We're going with it. Yeah, I was just not sleeping, and it wasn't even because of stress or anything like, I guess like detrimental. I just was not sleeping. I couldn't. Well, first, it was partially because of planetary alignment. I couldn't sleep because of that. Too much energy. And then I was talking with someone all the time. And then I was working, not even thinking. And it's just all this stuff. Right, of course. And so since you're looking for the right sources to leave, right now, take the interaction that you're having with these people, with these energies, as a way to build up more strength and resistance while and before you move on, right? Because you're still going to meet people that carry that sort of energy, because some people just are like that, right? So use this now as like a lesson. What do I need to do to stay more grounded in myself? What do I need to do to stay more grounded in my own belief system? How can I tune out the people saying nonsense to me that I'm not really wanting to accept, or saying things to me that I don't resonate with, right? Use this as like a training ground for that, to help you build more of a resistance against what's going on. A lot of times when we can't leave certain situations, because I know that for sure, I've been in those situations too, you have to find a way to make that a benefit for you. Instead of draining from you and taking from you, you need to find a way. Instead of saying that you need to learn a lesson because you haven't have a strong enough defense, let it boost that defense. Let it make it stronger, because you know what's going on. You know what energy is being thrown at you. You know the reactions that people are giving you and the reactions that they want from you. So now you're just gonna learn those patterns even more, so you can just completely be avoidant and non-effective when these things happen to you. It's the art of war, basically. You're just going to sit there and observe these individuals, not really giving them the response they want, not really doing anything, just continuously tuning out the noise and walking away when things go over the level that you're supposed to be at. And then by the time you leave those situations and enter new areas where there's going to be people who seemingly have more power or XYZ, they're not going to have that much more effect over you. It's not going to be anything new, and you're going to have a lot more new techniques to deal with it. You know what I mean? It's all a learning game when it comes down to the basis of it. So really, just use this time as like a training exercise. Don't take it too serious. Just allow them to act how they need to act. Just it's gonna help you like practice detachment as well. Can you bring nature indoors? Like, if you have like rocks or like sticks and like pine cones or stuff. I used to do that all the time. I used to bring nature inside. Not only that, but just listening to nature noises, like going to YouTube and looking up nature ambiance, doing that, because it's not the fact that you need to visually see it. We work sonically. Everything is just based off of light, what's touching us. So if you can close your eyes and listen to nature noises, at some point your consciousness is going to flip a switch and be like, I'm actually outside. I'm just really comfortable on the grass right now and I don't feel it anymore. There's different ways of doing it. Even though we might not actually be out there, you can create your own reality in that sense, and it switches you up like that. Even when you open your eyes, you'll realize that you've been inside the whole time. Your mind is still going to be hearing those sounds. Your mind is still going to be in that set, in that area, in that vibration of being outside. So definitely though, but yeah, just doing things like that will really help you do that. And even then, just water, because water is like the one thing that's outside constantly. So if you can just have like a glass of water around you, and when you have these panicked moments, stare into that water and just send all that panic to that water, and then dumping it out after a day or two, and then refilling and doing that, that can even help you as well, because it's less about even if we can take it a step further and say this, it's less about bringing nature indoors, but realizing that everything you have indoors was created by something out in nature. So it's just tapping into that resource, that eternal resource of knowing like, oh, this, like the bed that I'm sitting on, everything that came from it came from minerals, came from fabrics and stuff that all were created by external and outside forces and all these things. So doing stuff like that, and even then, like if you do put all the feelings and all the focus into the water, when you dump it out into Earth, just allow Mother Earth, allow Gaia or whomever you wish to call her, to to take that from you, to use that to transmute that into beauty and all those things. It removes it from you and gives to Earth. It's the same thing as trees. They take in carbon dioxide and output oxygen for us. It's the same thing can happen for Earth. We nurture the Earth with that water, even though we might have programmed that water with things that aren't of a high vibration. The Earth will always find a need for it. Plants will take up that nutrients of that toxicity or however, and then transmute it into beauty. So using it in that sense as well will help you. And I am doing well. I seen your comment when you said how am I? I was just talking, but I am doing well. How are you doing? So definitely just like, doing things of that nature, taking it always taking it a step further. Because because as within, so without on every level, not just on the physical level. As within, so without, at, like in your house, at your job, everywhere, everything is follows by that law. To the macro to the micro, always. So always taking it a step further. When you feel lost, it's because there's a step that you need to take. And that step might not be seen immediately, but just remembering the laws that were governed, as within, so without, as above, so below, all these things, it will take you to that next level of seeing, oh, this is how it's working. Oh, that's how it's working. Like the lamp, if I turned on the lamp, that's a mini sun. If you really want to go that far with it, right? Some people might not want to, but it's a source of light. It's a source of electromagnetic radiation that's fueling and making things brighter. It's able to see, it's reflecting, it's refracting, it's doing all the things that the sun rays would do. All these things. They might not have all the all the radiations that the sun has in it, but it has similar variations because it's the same form of energy being outputted. But yeah, that's what we're looking at when we're dealing with things. Like the ancients forever, our ancestors way back, like in the Sumerians and the Mayans and the Egyptians, the mainly the Egyptians, because the Egyptians really delved into the huge art of astrology, including the Dogon tribe. But we figured out, oh my goodness, thank you for the thank you for the donation. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. um I do my best to help, but genuinely thank you for that. I appreciate love that so much. um I got you you got me zooted out. I was so focused on saying something and then I seen that, but thank you. My brain has to take a minute to compute. um but we found out how many atoms um are on Earth based off of how many stars are in space, right? Because the Earth itself is a gigantic neutron. Um, I believe that's what it is. And the sun, no, the Earth is an electron, I believe. I have to look back into it. I have to look back at the book. But we can compare like atoms to Earth by Earth's rotation, Earth being the center, because that's where we're at. So we're in the nucleus, and then everything's moving around us. So they have the electrons and stuff, the protons, everything else down to that tiny scale. As many stars as there are in the galaxy, in the night sky, are as many atoms we have here on Earth, approximately. That's what they were figuring out with all these things. That, and again, this is following the same laws as above, so below. But we followed that sort of logic to know all these things. That's again how we know that there's not a one, because there's an internal and an external. So if there's an internal and external, how can there just be one? Those two things are mashed together to equal a whole, which would really be three instead of one, because you would have the coin and then the head, which the coin is one base, the head, the front side is one side, and the tail is the back side is the other. That's three. We're a component of three. The Holy Trinity, everything else going down those lines, talking about threes, it's all coming from that root of who we are in that sense. So really just staying tapped in with that, staying tapped in with that way of living, of knowing, makes everything what I say, don't engage all intellectually. Do your best not to engage. You can't necessarily help if they come to you, but you can help yourself by responding differently. Of course, set your boundaries. If you need to tell them to back up and leave you alone, do so. If you don't feel the need to do that, then don't do it. You know what I mean? But allow yourself to be authentic in that state. If you feel like someone is stepping over a boundary for you, make sure that they know. And if they choose to not care after that, then disengage, because at that point they're just trying to get that reaction out of you to keep you stuck in a loop and get in your head, energy drain, siphon, XYZ, all that stuff. So do what you feel is necessary at that time given. Sometimes it's important to engage. Sometimes it's important to tell them to fuck off so they can back up and leave you alone. Other times it's important not to engage. It depends on the situation and how things are feeling in that sense, right? Don't overthink it. Work off that intuitive instinct. What's going to help you in the best way. But that's the best thing for it, because in my situations, there were times where I had to engage because it was like they needed to back up and know that I wasn't just gonna sit there and take it. And then other times it was like I can't engage because now they're just doing things to make me look a certain way, and I'm not gonna play those games. I'd rather stand 10 feet down on what I mean, and if there's any confusion, bring that up. If there's not, I'm gonna just leave it be. That's how I handled my situations with it. It's really just important to keep your focus on yourself and what you need, so that you're not beating yourself up later about it. Even though you might, even if you do say something back, you might end up talking to yourself and be like, I shouldn't have done this or done that. But at the same time, that's a learning lesson for you. So it's all these things that we really have to like engage ourselves with and kind of yeah, okay, so definitely. If you've already tried engaging and it doesn't end up well, just stay focused on what you can do. Don't let whatever they say affect you in that sort of way. You know what I mean? So if you are you know what I mean? Like, you're doing what you need to do. So you're doing everything right. Since you've already like seen the engagement not working, just keep doing what you need to do. Keep disassociating from it. Keep blocking it out, doing what you can to. There's not really much you can do at the end of the day, truly. It's just about you and keeping your own self preoccupied, keeping your own self focused on what you need to do. So just continue to work on your hobbies and continue to, do your techniques. Because if you've already walked through all the other steps, that's all you can do. After you've done everything that you can and you know that it's not going to change because of multiple extents, there's not a need to keep beating the dead horse. At that point, what's going to help you? And helping you, as you said, having your headphones on and doing your hobby. So just keeping that focus, keeping a focus for what you're desiring to do next, which would just be to disengage and leave and have your own environment without them. So just keep doing that. Keep forming that on a smaller scale, what you're doing now, so that you'll have that energy already generating for the bigger steps that need to be happening later on. Definitely, Garfield. I feel that. I used to be in a position like that. It's important to really just continue doing what you need. And definitely as well, if you're able to, getting away from those people. I norm so this is a contradiction if people know me. I don't usually say this about people. I don't usually use these terms, but I will stand 10 toes down on it. Anyone that does those types of actions have some form of demon. And I will tenfold stick with that, because it takes a very special individual to not only try to tempt you with words, but as well as sexual pleasures. When they have to go to different extents like that, you're dealing with something that's not of a normal stature, in my opinion at least. And I will have no problem calling those people a demon, in that sense. There's like, I mean, and again, I've took classes and I've studied exorcism, so there's things that I kind of compare it to with my studies and stuff. And definitely when temptation hits a certain degree where they're hitting you on multiple angles, it's a demon. And I will never not break that boundary. Because like once you fully like go through some stuff with demons, and you work and you know about demonology and you know about all this stuff, you will see it. uh like, what kind of angel card? Because I have two angel decks. So are you wanting the only one I have out right now, because it's currently being used, is the Angel Tarot, or I have the other one, the Archangel Powers. Which one are you wanting? And I can do that real quick. Um, but I'd have to like get up and go get that one. But it doesn't matter. But which one are you wanting? And I can do that. Either one is fine. The powers, I got you. Give me a second. Give me a second. Where did I put it? Is my now the next question? Where did I put it? Well, there you are. I ended up putting all my cards back in my suitcase, because I'm cleaning off the table, and I also want to get the table, like the table that it was on, like actually like room service cleaned as well. So I had to put everything up. Let's see. I'll shovel this a few times, and I'll just pull one from like the middle or something. But yeah. But I don't mind to do this stuff right now. Today's just a different day. I don't know. How was the 3-3 portal for you all, by the way? I didn't get to even ask anything about that yesterday because I was just asleep. Anyway, Infinite, we have the Ten of Gabriel, which is ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. And that's what we have for you. I don't know if you can read it because of the glare. But we got the Ten of Gabriel for you on that one. So definitely just call on your angels for helpful people. Don't try and fight the war too much. It's not all yours to fight. Allow the divine to really support you in this time because you are doing all you can on the physical. Now you just start calling in with your spiritual support. Now you just start doing that so that you can be in this stressful mood. You know, this stressful mood being you just working on your hobbies with your headphones on. During that time, you should be calling on the divine so that when you're doing those things, it's not just you doing them for a distraction. You're doing them in a waiting period. But there's your little angel card for you. Why is there a period there? Oh, that's not a period, it's a comma. I just can't see. I need to... What was I saying right there? Alright, have fun doing chores. That's always a fun thing. It's always a fun thing. I always tell people to have fun. People will say like, I'll tell my friends all the time, they'll be like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, give me a second. I would just say, okay, have fun. I'll say have fun, be safe. I don't know why, I've always done that. Do you have a Cash App? I do have a Cash App. It is, let me copy all this again and delete everything other than the Cash App. But this is the Cash App. I appreciate love it. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at the appreciate love thing, but I appreciate love it. Thank you. pretty sure that's all I need to type. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna question it too much. On LunaHound? Not really too familiar, to be completely honest with you. I haven't worked too much with them. I don't really see much of them, honestly. But I mean, I don't really have a solid opinion because again, I haven't really like worked with them. I've worked with a lot of the other ones, but LumaL in specific, I have not touched much. I've like adjacently worked with them by telling people about them whenever they need her, but I haven't personally done anything. I don't know. I mean my main focus with magic is Enochian and angel magic. So, it's a matter of time before I will eventually work with them. Do I agree? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know too much about them. I haven't had a reason or a need to delve into them. So I don't have an opinion on them. And of course, Infinite, that's what we're here to do. Because working through different viewpoints is literally how we evolve. It's how we change our vibration. Once we can get a different outlook, even if we don't understand it at first, just because we like hear it and it comes into our body and we just accept it, or even if we disagree with it, it changes us on that level. And that's what we're here to do, is just have those types of energetic engagements so that we can go past these things. They might not make sense at first. That's okay. It might take a few years to learn. That's okay. But it will be within your system on a can I say words? No, I can't. On a molecular level, I'll say it that way. And it will, in the long term, change things for the better. Am I still Anubis? I don't know. At this day and age, I'm an agglomeration of things. It's an algorithm at this point. I'm many things, but right now, I'm telling. That's what I'm answering your question. I answered your question. That's the genuine answer I have for you. Right now, I don't know. Oh, wait, so we're at the end of this album. Does that mean we're playing? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because I'm glad because that's good. I've been getting a lot of confirmations about stuff working out like that. Good, but thank you for the angelic comment. I've been doing a lot of angel work recently. The past like 3 days, 2 days, I've been doing a lot of angel work. I've been needing to. If an Anubis statue breaks twice, was it the same statue that broke twice? Because if it's the same statue, you're gonna get rid of that. And I'll ask this as well, just to take it a step further to really know. What are you using the Anubis statue for? Is it just like an altar thing? Is it used for protection? What is its purpose? What about Michael? I work with Michael daily. Michael's my one of my overlookers. I work with and for. So if you're gonna come to me about Michael, I know all sorts of stuff about Michael. I literally had one of my friends has this ritual that he does to help people find their. He doesn't do it often. He does not do it a lot, but he has a ritual to contact the heavens to find the guardian angel, the overseeing angel, and after he did it, it was Michael. It was Michael, and then Mother Mary came through, a few others, but it was mainly Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel. What's my belief system? I don't have a belief system. I don't believe in anything. There's things that I know, and there's things that I don't know. Other than that, no belief system. I don't like to believe in stuff. And my spirituality type, not spiritual. I'm just existing. I don't use the label of spirituality or spiritual being anymore. It's been so convoluted and thrown left and right that I kind of detach from it completely. And what do I know about Michael? I know a few things about Michael. Uriel beat my ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the first time I heard Uriel, I got the wrath. I did not get the protector. I got the wrath. For good reason, for very good reason. Beat me into shape, and I am forever grateful because I've never in my life been so offended yet humbled by anything. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just not even gonna argue. You just right. I'm gonna just sit there and relax. Um, but it was very interesting because it was Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel all talking at the same time, and Uriel was just letting me have it. Michael was just like, "No, everything's good. Like this needs to happen," and Gabriel was like, "We could like say this a little bit better." Like it was a whole mediation going down, and it was very interesting. And that's basically when I did a full like 180 on my life after that moment, and it's been very helpful ever since. So you know they have their ways of working, and at the point of life that I was at, I was kind of stubborn, so I needed some fire put in me so I could really so I could really get the gist of what's going on. So I was like, okay, I get it. So that was fun. That was really fun. Mmm. Except for protection and the wolf chewed its head off. I don't really know. I don't really know for the one that had the wolf head chewed off. I truly feel, since it was a wolf that bit the head off, I feel like it just might be like the protection is set in stone. So the one in the garden just could be like there already is protection on there. Definitely do some like meditations or try to connect to figure out more about that. But the one that fell up from the wall and broke years ago, um, was there like a did it just randomly fall? Because usually when things randomly do that, it's because something took a hit. And also, yeah, that's really sick that you have a wolf. Actually, I is it like a hybrid, is it like a crossbreed, or is it an actual wolf? Because either way, that's really cool. But I'm just curious. I'm just curious on the detail of it. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm sorry, I just got a notification I just got a notification that said, "Don't swallow your words." I'm not. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know yet. What the fuck? Just don't throw that at me. Don't swallow my words. I'm not. I don't know. It's what is the app called even? I forgot what the app is called, but it's an astrology app that I have, and it literally just said, it gave me a notification that said, "Don't swallow your words." I'm not. I'm talking. I'm getting tripped up over my words. It's different. Aw, that's cute. I'm like this all the time. So another conundrum, I'm reactive, but not reactive in the sense to where I'm detrimental. I shouldn't be reactive regardless, but I'm reactive in that sense. Like, I'll look at things and be like, really? Like, why? But at the same time, it just is what it is. Like, it has no actual, like, generated feeling, but I have to output it. I don't know. That's just how it is. Yeah, spirit will never leave you alone, but people might. And might is a thing. I was with someone who claimed to be Anubis. When it fell off the wall. Yeah, that's not usually a good sign. Whenever you're around people that claim to be something, and then an element does not work that would work for them happens, like, it's usually saying that there's something going on. There's like a disrespect value. There's something that's trying to warn you about not believing something. There might even been a pact or a bond that was broken between the two. I've met people who have angel statues, and what will happen is their angel statue will break, and it's either because a contract has been broken by them or they're no longer in service of that person. So it could have just been that person might have been a devotee of Anubis, or maybe Anubis himself. We can't really know for sure unless we ask the direct questions and stuff for him. But it could have just been like that was broke. That pact was broke, or the some sort of like disagreements between Anubis and the individual, happened, because that happens a lot. But if it was for like a protective reason, it was definitely because something took a hit for you. Yeah, or a crazy person. A lot of people, and it also has to do with a lot with the personality disorder too. Some people who have like really bad personality disorders will become really attached to like certain belief systems and certain gods and goddesses, and then identify with them to kind of boost their morale in a subconscious way. So being careful of that as well. That does happen. I think my finger is infected. I don't know how, but that's unfortunate. I'll have to like work with that. Yeah, that's really funny because this reminds me. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because I thought this shit was fucking hilarious when it happened. One day Rashad Jamal, this is gonna be, I shouldn't be talking about it, but one day Rashad Jamal made a post about how he was Anubis, and then for a week straight, I literally would see him in the spiritual court systems, and I was constantly like in like a spiritual like court battle with him because he said something that just was not right, and it was kind of funny because I told him like you're lying. I literally know that you're lying because you're not. You don't even know the first thing. Like, for I'm not going into details, but you wouldn't be him. And I went in spiritual court for a week straight, seeing his mug. I had a dream of him in spiritual jail with another individual, and we were there questioning him like, so what the fuck are you trying to do? Like, what are you doing? It was a whole thing. And that's the thing, even with me, there's events in my life that I tie myself to, but I don't say that I'm 100% because again, like, I've done meditations and journalings to find out what soul is in me, who's in it, like what faces, what energies are making up my soul. And I've got an acclamation of multiple ones, but the one that's been the most present in my life is Anubis, and that's why I usually say that I am in that sense, as in that form, in that time being, I am generating more of that energy than any other. You know what I mean? It's because even at the end of the day, I've been asked certain questions about Anubis that I can answer, and then I haven't been asked other questions that do exist that if I can't answer would deter that answer even more, right? And it's not because I haven't been around those people, but I just haven't had conversations with people who know those answers to those questions yet. And if time comes where I meet those people, the time will come. Until then, I don't know. Like, I would have to go meet people who are part of the Egyptian order and people that have gone through physical ceremonies and things of that nature to know these answers in that sense. Because it's the fact that when you are a vessel of any sort of God entity, however, you would have this knowledge internally without needing to go through the ceremonies, without needing to go through anything on the physical. You would have it within you. And that's what that's what splits people apart from being something actually and then just associating themselves with it. It's a whole thing that you really have to like watch out for when it comes down to that. So it's again like it's one of those things, like even though I say it because in that energy that's who I'm channeling the most. It's like a lot of people say that they're Michael. They could be channeling the energy of Michael heavily, or they could be. We never know until we ask the full questions. And even then, you would have to be someone who knows about Michael, someone that has had life experiences with Michael to know those things, to know those questions, right? It's all about being tapped in and being surrounded by those who are in that sort of energy. It's a very like you have to be specific with it, because in the world that we live in now, there's trickster spirits that will act like certain entities and stuff, and they'll swear up and down XYZ, and then they'll end up doing something that would completely disagrees, and then you'll see everything kind of fall down and go into slumbers and slanders and stuff. Like, I've had people ask me if I'm one of the 24 elders. I don't know. I've had contact with a few of them. I don't know their names, but they've said that they were. It's one of those things you'll never really know until the time is ready for you, and that might not ever happen in this incarnation. You know what I mean? You might find out after you leave this fleshly body, oh fuck, I actually was this individual instead. It's a whole thing. You just have to be like, we'll never really know until we know. What's good? Everything. What about you? Alright. What was I doing? This. But yeah, that's like the whole thing. You have to know the questions to ask. And even then, it's like, if you're gonna say you're something, just ask them a very relevant question, like who's your mom, who's your dad, who are your siblings, right? Ask them those things. What were you in charge of? And they'll tell you if they know. If anyone like, if anyone tells you that Anubis is in charge of the underworld, they're not. Anubis is in charge of burial. Osiris took the position from Anubis, from being in charge of the underworld whenever he was brought there after Isis and them tried to bring him back. And after Anubis killed Seth, he was damned to the underworld. So he ended up not being a ruler, but becoming placed in it. And then after Osiris found out, like, oh, you did this in honor, then Osiris overruled the underworld, freeing Anubis and making him more of the burial position. So you have to know these things. It's like people might know the westernized version of stuff, but that's just a complete bullshit lie that people are just trying to give half information on. Until you know the actual stuff, it's kind of hard to tell. Are you well versed in Hermeticism? As well versed as one can get. I haven't done any exact studies, but I've done a lot of meditations on things in life, in that sense. So, I guess kind of not well versed, but I know my way around it enough to have a somewhat of a conversation with it. Well, probation, whatever you want to say with it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is, like, for a lot of things. But yeah, definitely. If you haven't joined the server I have, I should probably post a link in there. I need to like. Anna, can you email me so I can start sending you some stuff to like cycle through with like announcements that you post in the chat? Because I gotta. We should probably get something like that settled out at some point. Because there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of links that we could be posting that we're just not. And it's mainly just because I don't know. It's like you have your things to post. I have them out. We should probably just like mix them together. I should send you a link tree. I need to make. I just need to make one. But here's the Discord link. If you're not in our Discord, you can join the Discord, and I have a bunch of stuff in there. It's in the, and if you're already in the Discord, you can go to the resources and info part of the server. I have a dictionary of angels. I even have the Magus Celestial Intelligent in there as well. I have Esoteric PDFs. I just have a bunch of PDFs and stuff in there. Basically, any PDF that I find, I have in there, and I have to upload a lot more too. Do you work with Sophia at all? I do not work with Sophia. I don't work with Sophia, unfortunately. What game am I playing? I'm not playing any game. I'm typing up a storm is what I'm doing. Do I believe angels are stronger than demons? Depends. Well, here's the thing. How are we going to talk about this? If we're going to talk this by goetic terms, their angels overrule demons, which is why demons, whenever you're working with them, are called servants. You know, no matter if they're princes and kings and or like principalities or dukes or whatever, they're still determined and called as servants due to the overruling angel that they have. There's a principality that controls them, right? Every angel has its servant demon that works for it. Every individual, when you study the Goetics, has a demon that works for them, has a demon that allows them to move forward. Does that mean that that demon's a bad thing? No, it's because they're overruled by your physical angel. So whoever your physical angel is, and if you have this deck, you can find out who all your physical, your soul, and your I forgot, it's the physical, the soul, and another angel that you have. Let me just skip the one. Physical guardian, moral guardian, and soul guardian. You can find those out with this deck. And also, I do angel readings, and if you need an angel reading, you can like request to know those angels, and I can pull them out for you as well, because it's important to know this stuff. But whoever your physical guardian is has a demon that overrules it, and you can basically, depending on how comfortable you are, you can ask that entity to do things, but at the same time as you do that, you must call on to your physical angel to overrule it, so it's not just doing whatever the fuck it wants. You know what I mean? I have the occult deck too. But yeah, if you have this deck, you can literally just, it tells you the birthdays and everything of it. Just look at them. A good way to connect with them is not only, you know, writing down their Bible verse, whatever that may be, in their name and whatever, but as well writing their name in Hebrew. When you write their name in Hebrew, that adds an extra connection for you. It allows you to connect to it a little bit deeper. So doing that will help you. But if you don't know the demon that it overrules, again, you can just look up your physical guardians, who it rules, Or if you have the occult deck, you could literally just go to that one and look at the birthday, and you'll find it as well. But yeah, those are basic like little hints and tidbits that you can use for it, because it helps you figure out what you can do and who you can call on, and really like what your strengths are, like what you're kind of also here to do, what you have the most support in doing. Will you have a new love? Do you want one? Are you taking the steps to get one? This isn't like a cop-out answer. This is the truth. Because in tarot, you don't really ask a reader if you're gonna find a love. What you're really asking is if you're connected enough with yourself in a respectful manner to even attract the love that will be beneficial for you. So as long as you're working on yourself truly and allowing yourself to enter a state of more self-love to where you're not going to lower your standards for people that aren't for you, then you'll have a really good chance of finding love that's suitable for you. Everyone can find love, but it just matters on how much you love yourself that determines what love you're going to receive externally. Physical guardian, talking about the physical guardian in the terms of angels is the angel that's around you constantly. It's basically, because I mean all angels are around you constantly, but it's the one that's like with you physically. When you go somewhere, when you're doing something on the physical, that's the angel that's giving you support. That's the angel that's allowing you to move forward, as well as the angel that kind of shows you what you can do on the physical to boost you forward. Okay, thank you for emailing me. See, I don't know people's emails off the top of my head. So I'm like, I need you to email me. Exactly, Jennifer. You can only love another as much as you love yourself. Right. Okay. So that also counts, but that's less of an angel and more of a guardian, a passed over loved one guardian. When we're talking about the angels, there are 72 goetic angels that rule over your life, as well as the 72 goetic demons, and they reside within your third eye, within your pineal gland, and they allow you to see and transform things in that sort of way. So when you're talking about your physical guardian in the sense of angels, in the sense of that goetic term, there's a literal actual guardian that is with your birthday. I think it's with the birthday, right? The physical. Yeah, the physical guardian are those for born through certain months, through certain days. Like for instance, Ha'aya, if you were born between July 23rd and 27th, Ha'aya is your physical guardian, is your physical angel in that sense. Do I believe in curses? I don't believe in anything, but curses are real because people curse themselves daily without even knowing it. The term I cannot or I can't is a curse in itself that people say all the time, and it prevents them from doing everything. And if that's not a curse, I don't know what is. This reminds me of 21 questions. It basically is. People need to ask questions though, because it's like people aren't taught these things. And yeah, plus Psalm. don't even get me started on Psalms, dude. Don't get me started on Psalms. Can you see what January 5th is? Yeah, I can try. It's not in order, but I can definitely get it for you. March, April, May, August, January. So I gotta skip over here. January 5th. Harael. So if you go to Psalms 113:3, that's basically the verse of your physical guardian, infinite. But you know, those born under him will love to be instructed in his sciences. They'll be busy with business and follow activities in stock exchange. Be speculative. Will speculate successfully, and will be distinguished by talents and fortune. They can be called upon for severity of women and to make their children obedient to their parents, governs treasures, banks, printings, and books. So really anything to do with scribing, writing, protection, fertility, that will help you with Harael. As well as if you're having people that aren't respectful, which you kind of are in a situation, definitely call on Harael. and you'll see some movement in there. But that's your physical angel. But again, this information's out here as well. I think you can look up the PDF for like for this book, because it comes with this book. If you just look up like Angel Tarot PDF, it should have like the PDF file that you can download, and it has all the angels in it for free if you want to do that instead as well, because that's also good. Can a man curse another man? Only if the man that's being cursed believes it. And that's the whole thing with having a belief system. Oh, and as well, it all depends on the mentality. Someone can curse you if you are unaware of that being a point of existence that you're having struggles with. Or if you're currently struggling with something, someone can put more pressure on it in that sense. So yeah, a man can curse another man, a woman can curse a man, a woman can curse another woman, and a man can curse a woman. You know, anyone can curse anything at the end of the day. It really just matters of who you're going up against and like if they, you know, how protected they are. Because if you mess with someone that has a strong spiritual practice, your ass is gonna get handed to you. I've watched people lose many things for coming up to the wrong person, and it's just unfortunate. And I mean, I've visually seen it. We're not talking about picking it up in readings or getting visions and stuff. I mean, I've seen it in the 3D. I've seen people lose cars. I've seen people get in car accidents. I've seen people's houses burned down. I've seen people lose their children, like losing their children as in getting like stolen and shit. It's a real thing. Don't be fucking with it. Be careful out here. Choose your target. Don't even choose your targets wildly. Just sit the fuck back and leave people alone. Like, damn, if you're really upset about someone, go do something about it on your own. Like, go fix yourself. It's not worth it. People can pull a poker face real well. Trust me. Some people might look like they're silly and goofy, but you mess with them in the spiritual realm and you're getting your ass flipped upside down. Yeah, some people you cannot even touch. Some people it's literally like no one can, and you have to be careful because those are the ones who are not only just on their mission, but have already made a pact with the divine to not get off of it at all. They're no matter what the situation is that they're in, they're always working on it. It's one of those things. Yeah, speaking ill intentions about someone is a curse as well. It's all these things because at the end of the day, like if someone says you look ugly and you have body issue, you have like issues with your appearance, that's cursing you. That's now putting a detriment on top of you. That's putting that extra pressure on you, and then that ends up like fucking with you heavily, not only on a spiritual level but on a physical level as well, mental, emotional, every one of them. Even more on a physical too, like physical as in like appearance and stuff. So like you know, words have power, but it really matters of how powerful you are as a person mentally to overcome those things. It is an interesting little thing that we have in life. This saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me, is a real thing. That is a literal spell that people use. These things that we were told as children as like little funny rhymes or spells that we just threw out at people all the time, but we didn't fully understand it at time. Some of us might have, but others might not have, and we just kind of been doing it. Yeah, exactly. The another thing about curses that people really need to understand, um, if someone tries to curse you with your own religion or your own like way of life, and and let's say that you're very in tune, Like, let's say you're heavily Christian and someone's trying to curse you with Psalms, because that's like really easy, right? Or you're in the hoodoo, or you really talk to Saint Expedite and your angels and stuff, and someone tries to use Psalms to curse you. The person that's trying to curse you will get in way more difficulties than you will. You'll still face some, but that person that did it will get in a lot worse because you've already have a solidified faith in that. Um, it's like, when like, um, I don't know. I've never had siblings, but this is an example because I see it all the time. But like when your siblings are fighting and you and your brother or your sister are fighting, and then one of you runs to your mom and says, "Oh, they did that," but you both end up getting in trouble, but one gets in more trouble than the other. That's basically what's going on. Is why are you doing this to them? You stop, you learn a lesson, both of you go somewhere. That's basically what's going on with that. And that's why it's important to know what you believe in. If you're gonna have a belief system, you better know what you believe in. If you're gonna have a religion, you better be following that religion. If you're gonna be doing anything, you better be doing it. Because if you're not, that leaves you open, and it's not as like a detriment or like to punish you, but it leaves you open in that sense of you needing to get that strength and that faith put up more to know those things. And August 27th, I got you. But it's important to do these things. 22nd, Basaraya. So yours, Javette, would be Basaraya. You can look up Psalms 33:4. But those born under Basaraya will have good memories, speak eloquently, and will be amiable, spiritual, and modest. Basaraya can protect against those who would make attacks in courts. Courts don't just mean physical, it means spiritual as well. Rules over justice and influences nobility, legal executives, magistrates, and attorneys. But yeah, there's that one for you. I used to read these out at the end of readings. It just got really exhausting because we would get like 10 to like 15 plus angels coming out per reading. I could not. I was like foaming at the mouth by the end of it. But yeah, having, the deck again is kind of pricey, but like, if you can get the PDF for the Angel Tarot, I could probably look it up and link it in chat, honestly. I mean, it's like, yeah, I literally just found it within like 1 second. Oh, I have to download it? Can I download it for free? I have to register? No, thank you. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to... Because if I can get a resource for people, I will. It doesn't even bother me. Well, where's the PDF? These are the decks, but where's the... Oh, wow. I can't even, like... I gotta make you smaller? Are you serious? Dang. This pineapple belong on pizza? Yeah, it's good. I eat it all the time. Well, not all the time, but whenever I can. Honestly, you don't even need to do that. I could just do this. Because I'm pretty sure this gives, like, these are the demons. I don't need the demons. I need the angels. Well, this isn't going to have all of them, is it? Well, that does have all of them, actually. Well, I mean, here, I'll just send this, because this is a good resource. I used to use this resource all the time. But here's this. this is a good thing that you can look for, like the angels and who the demon that's between them and stuff, and as well like what choir the angels are, the Bible verses that they're in and stuff. And if you click on the angel, I'm pretty sure you can get the birthday and stuff. But all that's there. I don't really watch anime. I don't really watch anything, so I haven't really heard of that or know of it. It's the first time I'm hearing it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you love this up. Thank you. I guess. What do I need to do? Nothing. I don't need to be doing anything right now. Interesting. The Golden Dawn always has been an interest for me, honestly. Yeah, if you want to, you can, for sure. Or if that's to anyone else as well, you know, you can definitely do that. Because I could just download that and then, like, upload it somewhere. I want to get, like, I want to get a Google Drive going with stuff in it. But, I don't have room. And I don't know how much... I have to, like, look into all this, of course, because I still need to do it. But, yeah, because I want to, like, share the information that I have, because I know it's an interest for multiple people, and I have like a bunch of PDFs that not many people have or know of, and it's like I've read through a lot of the texts, and they're very informative and very cool. I have like texts on necromancy. I have all sorts of stuff, and it's like the art of it. It's not necessarily how to do it, but it's the art of. So why does necromancy exist? What can it be? Not just in the sense of raising the dead, but what does it mean to even do that? You know, the fact that it's an emotional magic, a magic that works off of feeling, and not really one that works off of physical in the physical realms of things. You know, like it's a whole thing. But it's really informative. And as well, if you know what magic you're going through, and you know how it's done, that's basically a defense for you. Your brain will reverse engineer stuff for you. Like, if you figure out what spell someone's doing to you, and you know the exact ingredients, your brain will reverse engineer that shit, and it just falls apart. Our brains are crazy. We're powerful beings, but we just need the education to back us up so we can actually, you know, move forward in the way that we were desiring to. And that's really the only thing that kind of keeps us stuck in certain, not really stagnant, but stuck in certain situations longer than we need to be, is a fear of learning. Some people really believe that learning things is a bad thing, which is awful, because that's religious dogma 101. Knowledge is what's going to keep you safe in this life. Wisdom is power. The richest people in this world that have the most power are the most knowledgeable people. They are the most wise of them all, because they cannot be overtouched or overthrown or even seen or touched. They have the invisible hand on them, you know? They have that because of the knowledge and the wisdom that they have. If public had that knowledge, then everyone would be in that same position. But that's the reason why. You know, that's why they say, oh, if you get the wisdom, if you take a bite of the apple, you'll go to hell. No, you're in hell constantly because you're not getting the apple. You know what apple is? That's wisdom. That's not evil or bad, or, you know, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. If we just like start learning, we'll be good. That's all we gotta do. Because even like you learn things that you don't even use. I don't even use half of this stuff that I learned in math. Like, I'm not doing geometry. That's not my forte. I don't do geometry. I know how to, but I don't do it. You know what I mean? Just having that knowledge helps me along the way. Maybe one day I need to do it. Not right now. Grand Rising, welcome in. So just having that knowledge is important. It's good. Especially again, like especially if it's something that you need protection from, just knowing what's being thrown at you. If you can gauge the ingredients, then nothing. Then it's like, okay, so if it's this ingredient, then that's telling me that this could also bring these other things in. Like, oh, they're using, I don't know, fucking. Let me think here. I don't know. Like they're using like a sour jar on you or something, and you know the ingredients of this sour jar that they're doing on you, right? You can just reverse that mentally. You can literally be like, oh, they're using these ingredients, or they're using lemons. Well, lemons are also a way to prevent evil. They're also a way of protection. So I'm gonna anytime they do a sour jar on me, anytime they use that lemon, it's actually gonna bring me protection and shout and sour them instead. Anything that they have that sour jar around is going to get ruined. I'm going to be the one protected. Then boom, all of a sudden that energy goes to you, transmutes, gets sent back to them because that's how it works. When people send you magic, it hits you, and then they get a ping on their side saying, "Hey, something's happening." And it's like, okay, we need to do this then. So if you do that on your side, when it goes back to them, it's going to fuck them up, and it's like, well, now I'm protected because now that's your bullshit. Now you need to quit and dismantle that spell and break that jar so you can start getting fucked up because it's just going to protect me. It works like that on that level, but you have to know what's being thrown at you to do that sort of stuff. That's a huge point of being an alchemist. You cannot be an alchemist unless you can change those sorts of forms. If you know how to, you can be an alchemist within speech. You can be an alchemist within like spell work. However, you need to know how it works. What's the science? What's the reasoning behind all of it? And then you can alchemize it. I'll be getting to the emails after the live though, because I'm like scatterbrained right now. But that's the art of being an alchemist is being able to truly take things from one form and putting it into another, turning lead into gold, truly, you know, being able to turn it back into metal after it is gold, turning blood into wine and then back to blood again. That's the true alchemical form, you know. But it is a lost art. Every art is lost because we have to find it. We don't know what it is at the time, so we have to go find it stuff. But it's all there. And even if you can do it a little bit, like a tiny bit, that's still a lot. Not many people know how to like if you can if you alchemize it, someone has to know who you are and how you're doing it to be able to like to stop that from being alchemized. You know what I mean? Like you could have access to different chemicals in your scientific lab than someone else does, so that makes your experiments more profitable and potent compared to theirs, and that's just because they don't have like zinc, and they need zinc for it, but you have it to make a certain chemical reaction happen, right? That's all it is. You just have a different ingredient. Your mind is your ingredient. However you intake things is your own like benefit. So if you can keep that on track and know who you are in that sense, then when you transmute things and alchemize things, it's going to take more than a little tarot reading for someone to truly figure out what you're doing mentally, because most people who read tarot in that sense don't know how to read up on your mentality because they're not actually psychics. They're not able to read the realm of the mental. They just know how to channel spirits now and again, because being a psychic has nothing to do with being spiritual. It has everything to do with the mind. Psychology, the psyche, it has the same thing, psych, which is the mind. I see is just the action of all these things. So it's very important to truly see that and understand it on that sort of level. People are looking for the term psychopomp when they want to say that they talk to the dead and that they're channelers. Modern day psychics are psychopomps. They're able to prompt and interact mentally with the unknown, with the unseen. Yeah, it's all good. Some people just need to get better eyeballs or something. I don't know. Not you, Anna, but the person who commented that needs better eyeballs or glasses or something. Get that mucus out from the lymphatic system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Rider Waite, If you're gonna get the Rider-Waite, get the Radiant Rider-Waite. It just looks better. You can get the normal one if you want, but definitely the Radiant is a more modern version of it. I want to get the original Rider-Waite. Actually, funny thing is, the original tarot, the original tarot, did not have any major arcana in it. It was simply all minor arcana, and that's what the gypsies used. The major arcana was added later, whenever Pamela was making the deck. But the original only had the minor arcana. But that's an interesting fact that not many people. Tell me another reader that knows that fact. I like tarot, dude. That's the thing. I'm not just a tarot reader. I'm in this stuff. I want to know it. If I'm doing something, I want to know it. What causes the body tingles you've gotten during divination during tarot? Spiritual contact. It could just be a vibration raising as well, an increase of energy around you. Paying attention to where the tingles are happening and how they make you feel during your channelings will help you. So even like, let's say you're doing a recording of a reading and you can't really pause it, right? Remember where the tingling is happening at. And then when you end that, look up where that tingling was happening at. So let's say the tingling was happening in your hips, right? Look up what chakra is associated with the hips, right? And then when you figure out the chakra that's related with the hips, right? That tingling, how it made you feel. Was it feeling good? Was it feeling bad? It was clearing up that chakra for an extra channel to give it extra energy. And that could even be something that whoever you're reading for needs to work on as well. Sometimes when you're divining, you'll get sensations on your body on places that that individual, your querent that you're reading for, needs to work on. And if you know like the specific area, like let's say it's on like your, I don't know like any specific, like let's say it's on your 12th vertebrae. If that's like a specific that you need to know, right? Look up what chakra is associated with your 12th vertebrae. You can go as specific as you want. There's gonna, someone's already done the work to correlate those things, you know? So just really looking it up that way to really figure that out. Because it's not always just a message for you. Remember, you're a channeler. What does that mean? You literally are channeling everything. So you might not be just channeling words. You'll be channeling feelings. Oh, my stomach is queasy now. So someone who I'm reading for might just be having stomach issues. Or they need to eat something or take more care of their dietary. Maybe they're having inflamed emotions or something. You know, some of these things. It's all, it really all depends, but you have to look into it because you're not just channeling and reading the cards, you're channeling and reading everything because you're in the energy. You are the one inputting and outputting. You are the convolver. You're literally it at that point in time. No, it's not an energy drain. You will know if your energy is being drained. Trust me, you will know. And when it happens, you will immediately want to stop. But when you're getting those tingles, it's the give, you know. It's that sensation of trying to show you, pay attention to this. It's the same thing as like your ear ringing. It's like, hey, pay attention to your surroundings now. What's going on? Pay attention to where I'm at, the area that I'm at. So this has an extra message for you. Because our whole body is like, we're a conductor. We literally like, if we feel it, it's for something. If we're in an energy doing something, it's relevant to it always. So doing that will also help you within reading and just boosting your skill within that. And even then, when you're doing the reading, like say you are getting like a tingling in a certain area, you don't have to immediately know. You can be like, someone might be having like issues within this part of their body. Maybe you need to relax more or something of that nature. You need to pay more attention to that area of their body to, you know, help you through your issues. Like for instance, if something has, you're getting tingling on your hip during your reading, you might be saying, you know, you might be having hip issues. You might have to release some extra trauma because trauma is stored in your hips. There may be some form of like fracture, or like you're sleeping on your hips wrong or something. There's some sort of, you know, action going on within the hips that whoever you're reading for or collective or whatever wise needs to be focused on and working with. So it's always there to give you that deeper insight, that deeper sign. But that's a very important tip for a lot of people, especially if you're trying to get into reading and you're not really sure how to read the cards, but you get a lot of like tinglings and feelings. Just do that instead. It will save you a shit ton. I feel that, Infinite. I've been there. I've been there multiple times. That's why we practice grounding. Because it's important to have that solidity. If we were meant to be in the spiritual, we wouldn't have the flesh right now. If we were meant to be fully locked into the spirit realm, we would not have this flesh. Even the most credentialed spiritualists are grounded on the physical in some degree. You know, we'll never fully be spiritual in this flesh. That's the only corruption that we have. Definitely grounded for work. I don't ground anymore before I come into streams. I just get the idea, unfortunately, but at the same time, it hasn't been like a bad thing. So that's good. Head in the clouds, feet on the ground, exactly. Keep your head above the clouds. Keep your heads resting on top of the clouds is what you want. You don't want them directly in the middle of the clouds because that's a cloudy-headed person. That's one of the confusion, illusion, and delusion. When your heads are resting on the clouds, like here, I'll show you. I have the deck in front of me. I'm not. That's the. I need the major. Here, I'll get it for you. Well, I passed it up. Where are you at? Yeah, so here. I don't know why I couldn't find the world, but the world, how the heads are on resting on top of the clouds, that's how you want to be, basically. You're above the clouds. You're above that cloudy mindedness. You can see through it. You know what you're going through. You know the situation. You know the environment, but you're above it. You're not being controlled by it. In fact, you're overseeing it and you're controlling it. That's how you want to be. Always. Well, it's hard to be that way always, but do your best to be that way. You know. And if you can't do it immediately, give yourself a rest and be easy at that point. You know, don't overwork yourself and strain yourself. It can very much happen easily, moving with spirit. Laying on hold on. Just because you said that, look. Just because you said that, it's right there. I'm telling you, y'all. Tarot is not what people think it is. Not at all, let me tell you. Let me tell you. If more people knew the truth of what this shit was, oh my god. And I do my best to explain it, but it's one of those things where it's like, you have to like indulge yourself in it to really get it. I could talk about it all day long, but until you sit down with a deck in front of you, a red or white deck in front of you, and look at it, it ain't gonna click as full. But see, I kind of want to get grounding shoes at some time, but I've never tried them. I've heard good things from people that have, but again, I'm more of a person to want to have personal experience with it before I give an opinion. But yeah, everything that I've talked about really, ever can be like shown with tarot, and it's really, really cool. I just love it. Huh. You know, I just now noticed that too. I'm gonna hold on. Now I gotta go check something. Now I gotta go see if that's actually what's going on. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. I will be damned. I love tarot so much. Sorry. I just found this out. I looked at the Ace of Wands and I just seen that. I just now found this out. Like but I seen that castle there and I was like, you know what? Like that reminds me of the Chariot card. And I wanna know why? Because the Chariot card is the exact same fucking thing. Where the chariot is in front of is literally that castle in the back. You can tell by the castle shape, the water in the background that it leads to is there. The purple mountain stuff is back there too. It's literally there. That's how specific tarot gets, by the way. That's what we're looking at when we're dealing with tarot. But now that I know that, I have that in my mind, and that's going to go within the tarot classes whenever I start doing those. Awesome. I learn things every day. If you want a reading, you can either email me or use my uh, website to request a reading. A reading if you want. Yeah, see, I've seen images of people who have rose quartz bathtubs or like amethyst bathrooms, and I get upset because I really want one. Like that just looks blissful. What is that? What was this? Oh, that's Etsy. Why is Etsy emailing me? Go away. I mean, again, if you want a reading from me, you can just email me or use my website, and I'll get you there. You know, I'm not with the crowd of people who like say that there's someone and tell me to do a reading on them. Like that's cool that might be told by you, but tarot's not gonna tell me that at all. Tarot's gonna tell me what your mentality is and why you even think that in the first place. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to break that down for you. You know, I don't have a bone kit yet, so I can't do bone divination, which would be my main source of doing any form of divination like that. But when it comes to tarot, you can channel that stuff, but you ain't gonna get the cards to tell you anything. Because channeling and reading tarot are two different things. You can channel while reading tarot, but tarot is not channeling. In fact, tarot and tarot cards are two different things completely. Tarot cards are what you're reading. You're reading about tarot, the story of tarot. What is tarot? A religion that the Kemetites were with, rooting all the way back from Sumeria, but fully fledged out and put into life during the Egyptian times because they were able to break down the mysteries and secrets by tapping into their full potential of being both man and God, divine and beast, and creating everything that we've known today. Quicker, easier, more efficient, while also being connected to with everyone on a physical and spiritual level. But it's nice to meet you too. I just had to break that stuff down because, like, you know, not to say that you're not, because I don't, you know, people will say who they are. You know, it's cool. You are who you say you are until disproven, obviously. So I ain't gonna try and disprove you because I don't know the questions to ask, to even ask you about that sort of thing. So, you know, hats off. Blessings and gratitude to you, truly. I'm just not like the rest. I'm just not like the rest. I mean, I would, but I mean, I just don't want to, honestly. Like, truly, I'm not really feeling it. You know what I mean? Because I would have to, not that I would have to think about it too much, but my brain is literally all over the place. Because I'm doing the tarot classes. I'm like helping someone out in the background. Um, I'm decoding like cards in my head. I'm doing like 5 things at once, and only one of them can be seen, and it's awful right now. I don't have room for anything else. Just is that how it goes then? Hold on. No, I can't be putting the puzzle together right now. And as well, I genuinely as well do not know the questions to ask, to narrow that down. as well. Because again, I'm not a scholar in multiple things in that type of regard. I have like my little set place where I sit at with things, which is I could definitely expand. It's just more doing the expansion that I haven't done yet for that. I don't know what I want. I'm like, now I'm stumped. I don't know what I want to do now, because I was gonna like, I wasn't even gonna worry about decoding any of the cards today, but then I did, and now I have to go like ponder about that now. Let's try that out. Yeah, everything just kind of like flatlined there for a second. Where am I found it like yesterday, and now it's gone again. Are you serious? This is a sadistic joke that I keep pulling on myself, isn't it? I literally found my chapstick yesterday, and now it's just gone again. This is a sadistic joke. Why do I pull these pranks on myself? I have to think it's funny. I found it. That's so funny that I randomly decided to feel there, and I found it. Thank God. Because now I gotta like... I already got my... whatever, see? Getting chapped up. That's good. Everything's good. What about you? Welcome in, welcome in. I'll probably be live for like another 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna go do some stuff. Finally live. Oh, I've been going live a lot. I've been going live like 2, 3, 4 times a day for the past like week. I only took yesterday off because I was asleep all damn day. I have the Shadow Tarot. The Shadow Tarot is very, very useful. I used to do... You know, that just reminded me. I haven't pulled anything from it in a while, but I used to do readings a lot with it. Like, just to see like what's going on with like the internals and seeing what needs to be worked on and stuff. The Shadow Tarot is a really good one. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I'd say like 3, 4 weeks since I've cut my hair. It grows back fast, so it's not like an issue or anything. Literally, I think in like 2 months, my hair is probably gonna be like... I want to say normal length, but you all don't know what my normal length would be. But it would be about normal length within like another month or so. Now it's got me confused and wondering now, because it's like... that's like connected or not in that sense. And so to go Hermit, Ace of Swords then. Right. By the order of things. Maybe 10-9, I guess. Or would it be the Ace, and then a few cards, then Hermit, then like a few cards, and then the Ace of Swords? I'm sorry, I'm literally like, I have my brain's like working hard on trying to decipher this, because I could just ask my mentor. I'm just gonna ask my mentor, like, what's the order of these cards? Because I'm tired of pondering it. I just want to know at this point, because I only know like a few positions of where the cards would like be, and I don't know anything else. And it's bothering me. But yeah, I'm gonna stay live for like 10 more minutes. If anyone has any questions or anything to throw around, now would be a time to do it. And if not, we can just take the last 10 minutes to just kind of chill out. Because we've talked about it a lot. I feel like today was another like good, beneficial day. A lot of alchemy talk today, which is good. Just chilling, clocked in. Good luck and have fun at work. Good luck and have fun. Try to have fun at least. Some people can't, some people can't. Oh man. I feel that. I'm I feel that too. And welcome in, welcome in. I'm probably gonna get food whenever I leave, because I'm like, I didn't eat anything last night. I was asleep. I took an accidental fast. Those are always the best ones though. I was gonna participate in Ramadan, but I decided against last second. I'll probably like halfway in the month decide to do like a 9 or 10 day fast though, just to make up. I should have. I mean, it's not like 4 days in. I can still technically do it, you know. It's just a 30-day, but I don't know. And kudos and good luck to those that are participating in Ramadan, because that's not easy. Even one of my friends who would do it every, like, you know, he's you know, he was Muslim, so he'd always do it, right? He struggled on it. He would even struggle with it. You know, it is a whole thing. So, you know, best wishes and luck to those participating. I will probably join you all later on that journey, on that track. But even if it's not even like the full 30 days and you're going to do like the no food between sunrise and sundown, still good luck with that, because that could even be tantalizing too. It all depends on how used you are to fasting and like who you are. Because I've met people that, you know, there's some people that can't fast for like a day. There's some people that can fast for just a whole like 2 months. People that can fast longer than that. It just depends on who you are and what you're doing. But even then, if you're not going to do Ramadan, just be sure to stay spiritually connected. You know, it's important to this month at least, because it's going to really help you set off what you need to do and stuff for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year. I never did any fasting when I was a kid. I only started fasting like 3 years ago. Um, so yeah, I completely, you know, I never really ate meat in the first place. I'm allergic to pork. Luckily, God, it's just can't eat pork. Um, What I'm allergic to pork. I never ate. I didn't like seafood. I don't like cow. I barely even eat chicken. So like eating meat was never like a thing for me. But I never like really fasted. The only thing I eat that's considered meat because of protein is the eggs. Even then, like I sometimes debate eating eggs. Um, Not because I don't like them, but just, you know, I don't know if I want to eat them or not anymore. His body changes and how it is. Oh, word. I feel that. Yeah. Yeah, that's whenever that happens, whenever you get cravings for like sugar or like protein stuff, that's your body wanting to create insulin. But at that point, whenever your body doesn't produce insulin, it begins to eat up all that waste and gunk inside of your body. So it can definitely hit you out of nowhere. You can have honey, by the way. Honey will stop those cravings. And try to get all natural raw honey, unfiltered and raw honey, because that helps with that sugar of the cravings of sugar, and it doesn't break a fast. In fact, a lot of people go on honey fasts because it's very beneficial for you. People are worried about being poisoned by honey. Depending on how you're built, it won't affect you. But at the end of the day, like it's gonna help boost your immune system. It's gonna help like cleanse your system, and it gives something for you to like help and aid in digestion. That's not gonna like break a fast. So that whenever you are getting rid of all the mucus and other stuff and the bacteria and stuff, instead of just flushing it out with water, you also have something like not solid but coagulable for that stuff to kind of be in so it can leave your system as well. It's a whole thing. Coagulate's a fun word to say. But that's what I was doing on my like 9-day fast I did like a month ago. I was just doing honey like for 9 days straight. I went through 2 bottles, mainly because the one bottle I had was like half by the time I did the fast. So that definitely helps with it. But yeah, I'm gonna go head off. I'll probably be back later. I'm gonna set an alarm to go stream later, and if I don't stream, I'm probably gonna upload a video. And I might do another meditation music. Because I've been getting the urge to do that a lot. I've been working on a lot of music, and the urge to do more meditation music has definitely been hitting me. So I'll do that for most likely. Um, but yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna post that one more time. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for the donations as well. I greatly appreciate it. I've loved the conversations that we've been having the past few streams. I want to continue doing like the streams and stuff and just talking in this way. It's good. It's helpful. It's beneficial not only for the people that ask the questions, but for those that are just curious about it. Thank you all for stopping by and being here, spending time with us. Thank you for keeping the vibes up and just being lovely people. And as always, I love each and every one of y'all to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. And